So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. Galaxy A52 full review. Now my fiance is going to be filling in for the audio here just because I had some dental surgery, so I'm not talking perfect and I don't want to move my mouth too much while it's healing. So enjoy the video and let me know if you're going to be picking up the Galaxy A52. Enjoy.
Discussing the key specifications of the Samsung Galaxy A52, a 6.5-inch 1080 by 2400 Super AMOLED display, 64 megapixel wide plus 12 megapixel ultra wide plus 5 megapixel macro plus 5 megapixel depth camera, 6 GBs of RAM, a 4500 milliamp hour battery, and Snapdragon 732G chipset. So a nice set of specifications on the phone that is only priced around $350 US. Alright, discussing the body. First of all, the back of this phone has given me a love-hate relationship. What do I love? Well, number one, the back stays nice and clean, which is something you can't say about some flagship phones, and this is due to Samsung's decision to go with a plastic matte feeling texture. What do I dislike? It feels cheap, like cheaper than other phones in this price range, and it reminds you if you're not using a case that you are in fact using a budget Samsung phone. However, let's keep in mind that this phone is also giving a lot of features, so this can be forgivable. This phone is also relatively lightweight, weighing in at only 189 grams, so don't be put off by it being too heavy. And the sides of this phone, while plastic, look convincingly metal. And the front is nice, with a nice flat Gorilla Glass 5 display and IP67 dust and water resistance. So overall, you're looking at a very nice, modern looking Samsung phone that looks similar to the Galaxy S21 line, but feels cheap like prepaid Samsung phones. These sacrifices will be overlooked because of the software and the brand for many. However, I don't blame them. Moving on to the display of this phone, we are talking a 90Hz Super AMOLED display up to 800 nits. And yes, before you start saying, no, it's 120 Hz, that is for the 5G version. This is the 4G version. After using this for well over a week, I have to say, while it doesn't have the best OLED at 6.5 inches, it feels plenty large and feels great for this price. The density is also good at 407 ppi, which makes reading pretty easy, and watching video on here is a joy as well. In addition to all that, you have display modes that make this super adjustable, like motion smoothness, vivid mode, and even the more adaptive blue light filter known as Eye Comfort Shield. And this Eye Comfort Shield is adjustable as well. So the conclusion is that this phone has a bright, colorful, smooth, premium looking display without being the absolute best on the market, but very acceptable. Discussing the software of the Samsung Galaxy A52, we have Android 11 coupled with One UI 3.1. And what does this mean? Well, this means that you get a very nice, polished, feature-packed experience even on this mid-ranger. Features like split screen mode with plenty of app support, along with pop view modes as well. Nice translucent notification area, and if we go into settings and scroll all the way down to advanced features, you will see things like one-handed modes, many different motions and gestures, including lift to wake, double tap to turn on and turn off, and many more. Also, the Google Tray is off to the left, which is nice because even the S20 FE doesn't have this. Edge screens are also here, and the phone has a nice set of wallpapers as well. Just thought I should mention, the software is just a clean, modern implementation of what Samsung can offer, and it's quite enjoyable to use if you like customizing and theming your phone. But if you like a colorful, rich feature UI, and not to mention this phone comes with support for 3 to 4 years for updates, especially the security patches. The software is one of the main reasons to pick up this phone. In terms of storage, this is a pretty good value because you're getting a healthy 128 gigabytes of storage, but you can also get a 256 gig model, and in addition to that, it does have the expandable memory, something that Samsung removed from the S21 line, so very neat. So the performance of this phone has also been quite exceptional as well. This one launches with a Snapdragon 732G chipset, and the 90Hz display make this phone a very enjoyable experience. However, I will say that there are some micro stutters and lags that you may run into from time to time. However, this is not going to be a big issue because this is such a major improvement over the outgoing A51 that I think that this is a good upgrade. Just to keep in mind, this is not the fastest, snappiest mid-range phone, but you get a lot of features. So the sacrifices that you're making won't be horrible because Samsung provides enough features to compensate, but you're not going to go and get blazing fast performance, but definitely smoother than the outgoing A series phones. So discussing the main cameras a little bit closer here, the 64 megapixel wide does a really good job at just taking a sharp photo for a mid-range Samsung phone. But going to the ultra wide, it's also pretty neat with a 123-degree field of view, but the macro camera is nice if you like to get really close to things. And then the depth camera seems kind of just thrown in there to make this a quad camera, but some phones can do portrait photos without even needing a dedicated lens. Shooting 4K video at 30 seems like you're making a little bit of a sacrifice. Some phones can shoot 4K 60 even in this price range, like the iPhone SE. Keep in mind, just like other Samsung phones, there's also so many features in here like food modes, pro modes, and things like that. So this is just one of the funnest experiences for taking photos with a phone you're going to get in this price range. You miss out on pro things like director's view, but at least you can change your aspect ratios and get pretty creative with this camera. And the front does feature 32 megapixel wide camera and could shoot up to 4K 30 video. So that's pretty good, 30 FPS on the front, which is not bad, and that will match up with the rear pretty good. And I think these photos have a little bit of a softer look compared to some other phones, but for the most part, they're actually quite pleasing. So enough talking about the camera. Go ahead and take a look at the samples I took and decide for yourself if this is going to be a camera you might want to consider in your next phone. In terms of battery, we're looking at 4500 milliamp hour battery, and this battery provides you with definitely enough juice to get through the whole day. I got anywhere from 6 to 7 hours of on-screen time and could probably get even better if I was lowering the brightness down even further and doing more battery saving techniques, so I'm very pleased. This phone doesn't have the best standby time, but at least a charge is relatively quick with a 25 watt fast charging, which can give us about 50% in 30 minutes, so I don't fret about the battery on this one. This one is strong. Discussing the audio, Samsung did throw in stereo speakers, but I can say that they're not the best I've ever heard, but it's not like I'm expecting that. But at least I have stereo speakers in the Samsung Galaxy A52, and that's how I would look at this. But what I am shocked by is to see a headphone jack on this phone. Now that is a very nice touch, considering that many people that buy phones in this range aren't always out here buying all the latest and greatest Bluetooth headphones and might be sticking to the headphones that they've been having for a while with a wire. Some people still appreciate the quality of audio that they can get from wired headphones. So I'm definitely not mad at Samsung for putting a headphone jack here. It's pretty cool.
And especially the A51 that came before this, but this does have 407 ppi and a pretty close to all screen. We do have kind of chunky bezels on this one compared to the more premium S line of phones, but I don't think it's going to bother too many users. It didn't bother people on things like iPhone XR, and I don't think it's going to bother people here.
In terms of communications and phone calls, we do have pretty good signal strength here, as most Samsung phones do. Excellent here, and this one's no exception. And I found the speakerphone to be adequate. Not super loud, but pretty good. This one comes with 4G, and you can get the 5G version, which is a little bit better than this one here, and has a little bit more smooth display, and gives you the benefits of a better mobile connectivity, but it will cost you slightly more. So in conclusion, does the Samsung A52 still live up to the awesome screen, awesome camera, long-lasting battery life? The answer is yes. It definitely does all those things pretty well, and I think that it's gonna sell like hotcakes. It comes in awesome black, awesome white, awesome violet, and awesome blue. For the price you're paying here, you're getting a very good screen and you're getting a pretty good performer with acceptable enough battery life, but what you're not getting is a premium feeling phone, and you're not getting the top of the line cameras ever in a phone. But I think this is a sacrifice that is something you might want to make if you're looking for a really good bargain. However, do keep in mind that the competition in the space is very fierce, and if you open your mind to non-mainstream brands, you might even find better deal than this. So let me know your thoughts here on this one. Are you picking up the Samsung Galaxy A52, or are you skipping out on this one? And we will be covering the Galaxy A72 soon here on the channel, so be subscribed for that. And if you found this video helpful, informing, entertaining, do me a favor and click on that like button and subscribe for more videos like this. We will catch you on the next one, and be sure to be well and peace.